We recorded Singapore not only as a neighbor but very important ally and committed to enhancing bilateral relations. And we have seen various achievements in all fields of endeavor. And today we have seen new measures extending beyond the traditional sort of arrangements into new areas, including education, energy, and a few other investments. Of course, Singapore remains as our number one, field. Bilateral investments and also in terms of trade. And we look forward to enhancing this, particularly with the Johor-Singapore Economic Zone, which to me a spectacular sort of a move within the region and of course internationally. And I look forward to working well with Prime Minister Lawrence on this. How else can we help and work not only to ensure the success of Johor, Malaysia, but also Singapore, and jointly in the region.
We both agree that bilateral cooperation must continue to deliver concrete benefits to both our peoples. And that's the basis on which we worked on the Johor-Singapore SEZ or Special Economic Zone. It's an important project which will build on the complementary strengths of Singapore and Johor, so that we can both be more competitive, enhance our value proposition, and jointly attract more investments to our shores. And by doing so, it will create good jobs and more opportunities for our peoples. When negotiating the agreement, both sides have actively engaged stakeholders to ensure that the SEZ has the conditions to help our businesses grow together for the longer term. So we are confident about the SEZ and we look forward to taking it forward.
My name is Madiha from Asra Awani. My question would be, what is your message to investors, especially on incentive structure? What incentives will be offered to attract investors and businesses to SEZ? Thank you.
Yes.
Well, our message, not just mine, I think both Prime Ministers, our message to investors is look at the complementarities between Johor and Singapore, because there are many advantages in coming here and looking at this entire ecosystem. Not Johor by itself, nor Singapore by itself, but as an ecosystem that complements one another. And I think there are many strengths that we can harness from both sides that will allow us to enhance our value proposition and make this a much more competitive and attractive venue for businesses to operate from. Certainly on the Singapore side, we've engaged many of our businesses and they are very keen to do more out of Johor and then to combine with their operations in Singapore. We already have existing incentives for businesses who want to expand overseas. So businesses from Singapore can tap on those incentives, market readiness programs and grants in order to expand and have some operations in Johor that will synergize with their operations in Singapore. But in fact, I think the greater potential for the SEZ is not just about Singapore businesses going to Johor, but it's about both sides working together to attract new investment projects globally. And if we can come together, which we intend to, market the SEZ together, promote the SEZ as a combined destination, Johor, Singapore together, hopefully this will allow both of us to attract even more global investments to our respective countries, enhance the pie, expand the pie, create good jobs for both our peoples.
JS-SEZ is a unique initiative. Very rarely do you find two countries working together as a team. You can see any part of the world where two countries decide to work together, promote both countries, and attract investments, and be seen to be having compact relationship. Most countries are countries led by a government that's politically stable, with clarity in economic policies, and a clear position or policy to attract investments. And not only that, but selective in the sense that investments that we think will affect the demands and dictates of the future. And I think that by itself is a great incentive, other than the financial incentive or the infrastructure you're talking about. Because you can see any part of the region or the world where two countries work together as a team, it is rare. And we are now expanding this sort of a sentiment and policy towards the sub-region and ASEAN as a whole.